This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area. This, this, this should be played. This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Shalom, Salama, Siyemi, and Shalom to you always, family abroad. It's your man Yashar Rawls, aka RedLetter Fabs. And you already know my lovely wife Gaza Red is with us as well.
Shalom, family.
Shalom indeed. So, babe, real quick, is there anything that we were just talking about, like attacks, right?
Yes.
You want to go ahead and give some of your understanding of things that people should look out for during this time right now? And we were just talking about it, so you might as well go ahead and tell the people about it right quick.
Well, in short, there's two things that I see that's going on. So one thing is earlier this week I was saying, it was interesting because I was thinking about it and then Yasha Rose mentioned something similar to it. I'm starting to see the separation of the wheat and the tares. That's one thing. Because the Most High he's not playing. He was never playing, right? But there's too much lukewarmness going on. There's too much I love yous, but people are not necessarily walking in that. There's too many people who know scripture but are not walking the scripture out. There's too many excuses being done. I think that we are also holding on to people longer than we should. People who have clearly already made their decision. And so the Most High is now doing separations that should have been done. He's doing for us what we couldn't do. And then there's another side of it. The other side that I'm noticing is that those who do stand for him, those who do really love him, those who are really pushing and pressing to walk this thing out, they are definitely being tested. They are being tested if they will be moved out the spirit, if they will be led out of the Most High's fruits, if they will be led out of his righteousness, his holiness, right? And so one of the things that we should really be keeping in mind, because we will be held accountable for our reactions, our behaviors, how we handle things. We need to be asking the Most High, give me, show me how to stay within your fruits. Teach me how to love others how you love me. Teach me how to give mercy. Teach me how to give mercy how you give me mercy. Teach me how to give grace how you give me grace. A lot of times, we get easily frustrated with people, or people who are unkind to us, right? How do you love somebody who's unkind to you? How do you love somebody who curses at you? How do you love somebody who's being governed by these demonic principalities? Those things are very difficult, very, very difficult to do. And so this is when we have to ask the Most High to teach us how to do the very things that I just said. I don't need to repeat it. So these are things that we need to keep in mind, because there is a weapon that is being formed against us as well. And we have to be a step ahead. I think it may have started yesterday. I know definitely this morning when I was speaking to Yasha Rolls, I was like, I want to tell you something. It maybe you thought about this already, but it's just my way of you keeping this in mind, for us to prepare, for us to be a step ahead of hostile times, for us not to leave any openings for him to be sneaky or get in. And the reason why, before I was speaking to Rose about something I wanted to suggest to him or remind him of, is because I knew if I didn't say that, then that would possibly be a way Hasatan could get in. And so we have to be steps ahead. We have to dot our T, dot our I's, cross our T's, and just be mindful of these things.
All right. So, absolutely, family. Like the days are growing shorter. Everything is definitely ramping up. And so it's that much more of a reason why we should stay more steadfast in some of the basics. Now, one of the things that, especially in the last days. So one of the things that, I taught on last week that kind of got taken out of context was someone was talking about when I spoke on the law of love, and someone, they said that they weren't saying that my teaching was all about, everything is all love and mushy gushy love and this, that, and the third. But when I speak about the law of love, that is the law of the Most High. We've seen it all through the scripts, right? And so if we don't have some of these basic things in check, which one of the scriptures in Psalms even speaks on, and all praise to the Most High for leading us in one of my other groups to talk about it. Proverbs 16:32, he that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. So in short, master your flesh. You have to take steps every single day to master your flesh, meaning to bring your flesh into submission so that your flesh does not feed your mouth things that it should not be saying, flat out, period. So it's very important that we try taking these steps to do this. So other than that, family, I want to go ahead and pray us on in. I just want to kind of remind some of these things because it's very good to do so. Other than that, if you can, you will, family, go ahead and bow your heads with us, and we want to pray on in and get right into our scriptures. Abu Yahuwah, Most High Yah of Yasharal, Most High Yah of Abaraham, of Yatzak and Yaquab, the one true allure of all creation, creator of all the heavens, the earth, and everything within. Yahuwah, Saba, Abu Yahuwah, we continually come humbly before your throne to give you all praise, honor, and glory. And thank you, Abba, for this day. For this is the day in which you have made, and we shall be glad and rejoice in it, no matter what time it is. So, Abu Yahuwah, thank you. Thank you for everything you've been able to show us today, everything we've been able to observe today, everything that you've revealed to us today as we continue to press on into more study, into more learning, and more hearing of you, Abba. Abu Yahuwah, we continually praise you for being all things holy and righteous unto us, for being our sovereign ruler, our king, our ruler, our creator, our savior, our redeemer, our teacher and counselor, our physician and healer, our sword and shield, our place of refuge, our high tower, everything that we could possibly ever ask for, Abu Yahuwah, that is you, and you are all that we need. And in you, Abu Yahuwah, you send your word who has redeemed us from a place of darkness and saved us from ourselves. For you have sent your word, Abba, out to accomplish all that it should accomplish, and it would not come back to you void. And Abba, we thank you so much for doing so, because without it, we would still be where we was. And Abba Yahuwah, we continue to ask forgiveness of our sins and iniquities, those things known and unknown unto us, the sins and iniquities of our ancestors, forefathers, and even those of our children, Abba Yahuwah, for they still know not what they do. And that we continually ask that you will reveal yourself unto them, Abba Yahuwah, that they should be aware of you, they should fear you, they should learn to love you, Abba Yahuwah, that they should learn to praise you, to glorify you, to give you all the honor in which you deserve, Abba, to learn your statutes, your ways, and your commandments, to teach them and obey them and guard them, Abba Yahuwah. We continually ask these things to preserve our bloodline, to preserve our family tree, and ask that you would not blot us out from the Shamayim or from the Holy Land, from the Promised Land. Abba Yahuwah, as always, we continually ask that your Ruach HaKodesh, your Holy Spirit, would dwell in this household and every household watching. And Abba, as always, we continually ask that you will give us understanding and discernment over what it is that we're about to read and we're about to go over. For your word tells us, in all you are getting, get an understanding. So we want to make sure that we understand what it is that we read, and we're not being force-fed by anything. We want to be able to retain this information, so that way, no matter where you would send us, Abba Yahuwah, we would have a testimony, something to look back on these scriptures and say, because of this, we do this, or because of this, we don't do that, or this reminds me of, or when the Most High made it relevant right here. These are the things in which we want to be able to do. And as one of the things that you made very clear to me to say to somebody else, all the things that we learn in your word, Abba Yahuwah, it doesn't make us better or holier than anybody. But what it does is it makes us responsible to find a way to tell someone that they should tell someone else. In your mighty, righteous, and holy name, Abba Yahuwah, by way of your son, Yahushua HaMashiach, we pray. So be it, and it is so. All right, family. All right, so let's see here. Welcome on in, Ty Center. So I'm not going to address any of those comments right there, but it's all right. You know, the Most High will make Himself known as His will to make Himself known unto you. So I'll let that be heard that way. All right, so let me go ahead and pull up the scriptures right quick. I was in the middle of a different project, and so please forgive me on that one, family. But last week, we definitely saw some of the things that we hear, or that a lot of us have heard repetitively from the book of Daniel, talking about the statue and the kingdoms that will come later. We also got a chance to see how Nebuchadnezzar was actually mentally cast out into a place of the wild beasts. So he didn't have any of his wherewithal about him, because he wouldn't listen. And the word from the Most High came unto him, saying that the kingdom has departed from you, Nebuchadnezzar. And so we got a chance to see all these different things. We got to see where Daniel had talked about, just give us the pulse. And we got the chance to see, like, okay, well, what does that truly mean? You know what I'm saying? The vegetation, the vegetables, the fruit. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want none of the king's meat, nor his wine, nor anything, because the wine was probably contaminated with blood even. So a lot of different things that was made known to us last week, whether we paid attention to them in the past or not. Let me go ahead and get our picture out the way and do that. Blow this on up. So, family, right here, chapter 5. So in chapter 5, we start off by saying, or we'll go ahead and just go back like we normally do into chapter 4 just a little bit, and then go let it flow right on in chapter 5. So right here is what we saw. While the word was yet in the king's mouth, there came a voice from heaven saying, to thee, King Nebuchadnezzar, they say the kingdom has departed from thee, and they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the wild beasts of the field, and they shall feed thee with the grass as an ox. And 7 times, meaning 7 days, shall pass over thee until thou know that the Most High is Yahuwah, or he is Adonai of all the kingdom of men, and he will give it to whomsoever he shall please. In the same hour, the word was fulfilled upon Nebuchadnezzar, and he was driven forth from men, and he ate grass as an ox, and his body was bathed with the dew of heaven until his hairs were grown like lion's hairs, and his nails as birds' claws. And at the end of the time, I, Nebuchadnezzar, lifted up mine eyes to heaven, and my reason returned to me. And I blessed the Most High and praised him that lives forever, and gave him glory, for his dominion is an everlasting dominion, and his kingdom lasts to all generations, and all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing. And he does according to his will in the army of heaven and among the inhabitants of the earth, and there is none who shall withstand his power. And say to him, what hast thou done? At the same time, my reason returned to me, and I came to the honor of my kingdom, and my natural form returned to me, and my princes and my nobles sought me, and I was established in my kingdom, and more abundant majesty was added to me. Now therefore I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and greatly exalt and glorify the King of heaven, for all his works are true, and his paths are judgment, and all that walk in pride he is able to abase, meaning to bring low. So, in short, Nebuchadnezzar, being the king of a kingdom, ruler of many countries, ruler of many languages and tongues, right? Even he had to get brought down low, brought down to what is called right here a base, brought to the ground as an animal. You know what I'm saying? So that way he had to get out from that mindset. This is why the scripture says that knowledge puffeth up. And it's not just that he was a knowledgeable man, but in his position as so-called king of many kingdoms, he thought of himself as King of kings and Lord of lords, and he had to get shown that no, you are not. You are not who you think you are. And it's the Most High that establishes kings upon the earth. He puts those in power that he chooses for his will and his purpose. And so we go into chapter 5, and it states, Balthasar, the king, made a great supper for his 1,000 nobles, and there was wine before the 1,000. And Balthasar, drinking, gave orders as he tasted the wine that they should bring the gold and silver vessels, which Nebuchadnezzar, his father, had brought forth from the temple in Jerusalem, that the king and his nobles and his mistresses and his concubines should drink out of them. So pay very close attention. Now, Balthasar, this king right here, this is the son of Nebuchadnezzar. And so he thought it would be a good idea to take the vessels that were brought from Jerusalem and drink wine from them. All of the things that was from the Holy of Holies, that was in the temple, all that bring the gold and silver vessels, which Nebuchadnezzar, his father, had brought forth from the temple in Jerusalem, that the king and his nobles and his mistresses and his concubines should drink out of them. So the gold and silver vessels were brought, which Nebuchadnezzar had taken out of the temple of Elua in Jerusalem. And the king and his nobles and his mistresses and his concubines drank out of them. They drank wine and praised the Elohims of gold and of silver, and of brass and of iron and of wood and of stone. So these right here, they were praising the angels. They were calling them Elohims. This is why this is very important, as we grow and as we learn and we start learning more Hebraic words and things like that, learning how to pronounce these words, digging into our concordances, that we slowly correct some of the things in which we say. You know what I'm saying? Because this is why you now hear me say Alua and not Elohim or Elohim. Because Elohim is just a disembodied spirit. Whereas Alua means the Most High God, the Most High Elohim, or the greatest, the creator. It speaks about the creator of all things. Now, I know that, we all start off little, we all start off as babes, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know what I'm saying? So we do grow, right? I'm not here to be the language police. I'm not here to be the doctrine police. That's not even what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to even promote. I'm just trying to promote growth. And as we grow, we correct what we say. And we correct, how we use some of these words, right? So that's all I'm really getting at. I'm not trying to promote some kind of Pharisaic behavior. No. We ain't trying to do all that. Y'all that know me know I can't stand the holier than thou spirit. And that's not what we're here for. So anyway, we see that they were praising the fallen angels, the different spirits of brass, iron, gold, silver, wood, and stone. In the same hour came forth fingers of a man's hand and wrote in front of the lamp on the plaster of the wall of the king's house. And the king saw the knuckles of the hand that wrote. Then the king's countenance changed, and his thoughts troubled him, and the joints of his loins were loosened, and his knees smote one another. So he just pooped himself. And I think anybody that would see out of nowhere a hand appear upon the wall where you see the knuckles of the hand writing on the wall, you know what I'm saying? Out of nowhere, you ain't never seen nothing like this before. You might go ahead and poop yourself too. He said his bowels were loosed. So he pooped and peed himself, and his knees smote one another. And the king cried aloud to bring in the magicians, Chaldeans, and soothsayers. And he said to the wise men of Babylon, whosoever shall read this writing and make known to me the interpretation shall be clothed with scarlet, and there shall be a golden chain upon his neck, and he shall be the third ruler in my kingdom. Then came in all the king's wise men, but they could not read the writing, nor make known the interpretation to the king. And King Balthazar was troubled, and his countenance changed upon him, and his nobles were troubled with him. Yeah, I think we're gonna end up playing that Daraka Bar, the ancient. We're gonna play that later. That goes right along with this. Then the queen came into the banquet house and said, O king, live forever. Let not thy thoughts trouble thee, and let not thy countenance be changed. There is a man in thy kingdom in whom is the spirit of Alua, and in the days of thy father watchfulness and understanding were found in him. And King Nebuchadnezzar thy father made him chief of the enchanters, magicians, Chaldeans, and soothsayers. For there is an excellent spirit in him. and sense and understanding are in him, interpreting dreams as he does, and answering hard questions and solving difficulties. It is Daniel, and the king gave him the name Balthasar. Now then, let him be called, and he shall tell thee the interpretation of the writing. Then Daniel was brought in before the king, and the king said to Daniel, Art thou Daniel, of the children of the captivity of Judea, of the Yehudi, which the king my father brought? I have heard concerning thee that the spirit of Alua, the Ruach of Alua, is in thee, and that watchfulness and understanding and excellent wisdom have been found in thee. And now the wise men, magicians, and soothsayers have come in before me to read the writing and make known to me the interpretation, but they could not tell it me. And I have heard concerning thee that thou art able to make interpretations. Now then, if thou shalt be able to read the writing and to make known to me the interpretation of it, thou shalt be clothed with purple, and there shall be a golden chain upon thy neck, and thou shalt be third ruler in my kingdom. And Daniel said before the king, let thy gifts be to thyself. He's like, you can keep that chain and that purple garment. You know what I'm saying? You can keep all of that. I don't want it. I don't need it. He said, let thy gifts be to thyself, and give the present of thine house to another. You can give that stuff to somebody else. I don't want it. But I will read the writing and will make known to thee the interpretation of it. O king, the most high Alua gave to thy father Nebuchadnezzar a kingdom. He gave to thy father Nebuchadnezzar a kingdom and majesty and honor and glory. And by reason of the majesty which he gave to him, all nations, tribes, and languages trembled in fear before him. Whom he slew, or whom he would he slew, and whom he would he smote, and whom he would he exalted, and whom he would he abased. But when his heart was lifted up, and his spirit was emboldened to act proudly, he was disposed from his royal throne, and his honor was taken from him, and he was driven forth from men, and his heart was given him after the nature of wild beasts, and his dwelling was with the wild asses, and they fed him with grass as an ox, and his body was bathed with the dew of heaven, until he knew that the Most High, Alua, is Adonai of the kingdom of men, and will give it to whomsoever he shall please. So he had to go ahead and tell, Belshazzar, the king's son, who's now reigning and ruling. He had to go ahead and remind him. He said, okay. He said, your father, he was quite powerful too when he was sitting on the throne. And, he started acting, high and mighty. And so the Most High had to bring him down, all the way down low, and had to make it known to him that the Most High, Alua of heaven, he's the one that does what he will and does what he please and puts whomever he shall please in power. And you're starting to act like your daddy, and you're about to get brought low. Now, so I just paraphrased all that, but I'm pretty sure y'all can make sense out of that in the scripts. So verse 22, and thou accordingly, and you accordingly, his son, O Balthasar, hast not humbled thine heart before Alua. So you're doing the same thing. Knowest thou not at all this? Do you know not what happened to your daddy? All the things that happened to your father. Do you know about what happened to him? You don't know where he went for those 7 days? You don't know if they fed him like a wild donkey or like a wild ox? Do you not know that his hair grew out like a lion's and his nails turned into bird's claws? He looked like a beast, an unfamiliar beast of the earth, and had to get fed like a beast. And he had no reasoning of man inside of his skull. Yeah, did you not learn anything from your daddy? Right? Knowest thou not at all this? And thou hast been exalted against Yahuwah, Alu of heaven. And they have brought before thee the vessels of his house. And thou and thy nobles and thy mistresses, and thy concubines have drunk wine out of them. And thou hast praised the Elohims of gold and silver and brass and iron and wood and stone, which see not and which hear not and know not. And Alua, the Alua, in whose hand are thy breath, and all thy ways hast thou not glorified. So you don't know about the one true Alua of heaven, but you praise these Elohims that can do nothing. And not only that, but the vessels that you took, or the vessels that were taken, that were taken from the Most High's house in Jerusalem, from his sanctuary, from his tabernacle. And you and all these defiled peoples have drank wine from them and glorified false gods, false names. And you give the Most High himself no glory for what you do. Therefore, from his presence has been sent forth the knuckle of a hand, and he has ordered this writing. And this is the ordered writing. Mani, Tekel, Faris, or Farsi. This is the interpretation of the sentence. Mani, Alua has measured thy kingdom and finished it. Tekel, it has been weighed in the balance and found wanting. Faris, thy kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians. Then Balthasar commanded, and they clothed Daniel with scarlet, and put the golden chain about his neck, and proclaimed concerning him that he was the third ruler in the kingdom. And the same night was Balthasar the Chaldean king slain. And Darius the Mede succeeded to the kingdom, being 62 years old. So that's messed up, but it's well deserved. Meaning, I say it's messed up because he got the interpretation, which was well deserved. He made Daniel third in the kingdom, and that same night he lost his life, and Darius the Mede succeeded to the kingdom, being 62 years old. So now chapter 6. And it pleased Darius, and he set over the kingdom 120 satraps to be in all his kingdom, and over them 3 governors, of whom one was Daniel. For the satrap to give account to them that the king should not be troubled. And Daniel was over them, for there was an excellent spirit in him. And the king set him over all his kingdom. Then the governors and satraps sought to find occasion against Daniel, but they found against him no occasion, nor trespass, nor error, because he was faithful. So they're trying to set him up, and they couldn't find any way to set him up. Verse 5, and the governor said, we shall not find occasion against Daniel except the ordinances of his allure. See, now this is something we got to make sure we keep very important to us. It does not matter. I don't care what it is, who it is. Keep faithful to the word of the Most High, his commandments, and things that he commands of you, because that's the only thing this wicked world can ever put against you. It's because you're not like them, and they not like us. He said, we shall not find occasion against Daniel except the laws, commandments, statutes, and judgments, which are the ordinances of his allure. And these are the same ones that still don't know yet about what happened with Nebuchadnezzar. And they obviously don't know what happened with Balthazar, Nebuchadnezzar's son. They don't know that it's the Most High that did what he did against them or to them. So that way they're now in power. So they must not have heard. I would say like that old Roy Jones song, y'all must have forgot, but they never knew. So then the governors and satraps stood by the king and said to him, King Darius, live forever. All who preside over thy kingdom, captains and satraps, chiefs and local governors, have taken counsel together to establish by a royal statute and to confirm a decree that whosoever shall ask a petition of any Elohim or man for 30 days, save of thee, O king, shall be cast into the den of lions. So now they over here talking about that whosoever shall ask a petition of any Elohim or man for 30 days, if you pray to any man or any Elohim, except praying to the king in the name of the king, shall be cast into the den of lions. Now then, O king, establish a decree and publish a writ that the decree of the Persians and Medes be not changed. Then King Darius commanded the decree to be written. So, yeah, they really just don't know who they're messing with. Hey, what is going on here? Let me see. Yeah, King Nebuchadnezzar did shapeshift, and it wasn't by his own doing. It wasn't by his own, by his own power. Yeah, I don't know why the YouTube on my phone had your comment hid. I didn't even know you was there, Iman. So, but yes, Nebuchadnezzar did shapeshift. So let's get back to the scripts right quick. Now then, O king, establish a decree and publish a writ that the decree of the Persians and Medes be not changed. Then King Darius commanded the decree to be written. Blah, blah, blah. We're almost getting tongue-tied for some reason. And when Daniel knew that the decree was ordered, he went into his house, and his windows were opened in his chambers toward Jerusalem. And 3 times in the day he knelt upon his knees and prayed and gave thanks before his allure, and he used to, as he used to do before. Then these men watched and found Daniel praying and supplicating to his allure. And they came and said to the king, O king, hast thou not made a decree that whatsoever man shall ask a petition of any god or man or any Elohim or man for 30 days, but of thee, O king, shall be cast into the den of lions? And the king said, the word is true, and the decree of the Medes and Persians shall not pass. Then they answered and said before the king, Daniel, of the children of the captivity of the Yehudi of Judea, has not submitted to thy decree. And 3 times in the day he makes his requests of his allure, or of his God. Then the king, when he heard the saying, was much grieved for Daniel, and he greatly exerted himself for Daniel to deliver him. He exerted himself till evening to deliver him. Then those men said to the king, know, O king, that the law of the Medes and Persians is that we must not change any decree or statute which the king shall make. So the king was trying to cover for Daniel, but he couldn't, because he had it wrote that way because he was tricked into writing it that way. But it is what it is, and it ain't gonna matter. So verse 16, then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. But the king said to Daniel, thy allure, whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee. And they brought a stone and put it on the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his ring and with the ring of his nobles, that the case may not be altered with regard to Daniel. And the king departed to his house and lay down fasting, and they brought him no food, and his sleep departed from him. But Allure shut the mouths of the lions, and they did not molest Daniel. So they didn't grab him, they didn't bite him, or none of those things. Now, let's see here. Now, I expressly remember that in the KJV, this is not what the king said. In the KJV, I remember them having it to where that Darius mocked Daniel and basically said that, have your God deliver you from here. But here in the Septuagint, and they also, I don't remember it being in the KJV that Darius even stood up for Daniel. Then the king, when he heard the saying, was much grieved for Daniel, and he greatly exerted himself for Daniel to deliver him, meaning to cover for Daniel. It doesn't have that in the KJV, to the best of my knowledge. So, verse 17. As a matter of fact, let me see here. Let's do this. Thank you, Abba. Thank you, Abba. Let me see here. I see. I could have sworn I had Blue Letter as a. I'll just do this. I'll use Bible Hub. Don't worry, family. I ain't forgot about you. All right. All right. Then the king, when he heard these words, was sore displeased with himself, and set his heart on Daniel to deliver him. And he labored till the going down of the sun to deliver him. Then these men assembled unto the king and said unto the king, Know, O king, that the law of the Medes and Persians is that no decree nor statute which the king established may be changed. Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now the king spake and said unto Daniel, Thy God, whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee. Okay, so yeah, he did say that. Okay, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. All right, all right. So he did say that here in the KJV, but the writing up here doesn't suggest that he labored or tried to deliver Daniel away from the punishment, right? So I just wanted to check that out just to be on the safe side. I love when the Most High does that, you know what I'm saying, to bring correction to me or anybody else that, you know, we say that, you know, we saw it here, you know what I'm saying, but it wasn't the same as what we saw. Hey, that correction is needed. All praise to the Most High. All right. So, and they brought a stone. Okay, we got that right here. But the lions, they did not molest Daniel. Then, verse 19, and the king arose very early in the morning and came in haste to the den of lions. And when he drew near to the den, he cried with a loud voice, Daniel, servant of the living Allure, has thy Allure, whom thou servest continually, been able to deliver thee from the lion's mouth? And Daniel said to the king, O king, live forever. My Allure has sent his angel and stopped the lions' mouths, and they have not hurt me. For uprightness was found in me before him. And moreover, before thee, O king, I have committed no trespass. Then the king was very glad for him, and he commanded to bring Daniel out of the den. So Daniel was brought out of the den, and there was found no hurt upon him, because he believed in his Allure. And the king commanded, and they brought the men that had accused Daniel, and they were cast into the den of lions, they and their children and their wives. And they reached not the bottom of the den before the lions had the mastery of them, and utterly broke to pieces all their bones. Then King Darius wrote to all nations, tribes, and languages who dwell in all the earth, saying, Peace be multiplied to you. This decree has been set forth by me in every dominion of my kingdom, that men tremble in fear before the Allure of Daniel, for he is the living and eternal Allure, and his kingdom shall not be destroyed, and his dominion is forever. He helps and delivers and works signs and wonders in the heaven and on the earth, who has rescued Daniel from the power of the lions. And Daniel prospered in the reign of Darius and in the reign of Cyrus the Persian. So as we look right here, this is why you have Psalms that are written the way that they are, praising the Most High. And this is why you also have Isaiah and Jeremiah, and I believe Ezekiel wrote about it as well, or spoke about it as well, talking about how the Most High said that he would be glorified amongst the other nations whom don't know him. They don't know, he don't know them and they don't know him. But he will be glorified by them. So this is why these right here verses in particular are the reasons why. This is the precepts or the accompanying scriptures that give us the understanding of how the Most High is going to make sure he will be glorified by all people. First and foremost, he should be glorified by us, his people. But even when we are on punishment in this captivity, whether it's in this Babylonian captivity here in the scriptures or this Babylonian captivity to this day, the Most High is going to receive glory. And so I'm also reminded of when we went through the ascension of Isaiah, and as Isaiah was going up through the Shamayim with the angel of the Most High, angel of Yahuwah, and as he was going through the different levels of heaven, the first through the sixth, and all the way up to the seventh heaven, he saw a throne in the middle, and there were angels on each side of the throne. And the angels on the right side of the throne glorified the Most High better than the angels on the left side. It's not that the angels on the left side did not glorify him, did not praise him, but the singing, the sound of the praise was better on the right side than on the left. And so I'm reminded of that because no matter which captivity we've ever been in, our praise to the Most High, for some reason, doesn't get any better until we're in a captivity situation. So we're put in situations where we have to sing and cry out for him, to where he would hear us. So now, am I putting these scripts together and saying that this is the exact interpretation? No, but this is what I'm feeling. So I'm continually seeing how some of these scriptures line up this way. So the Most High got his praise from the other nations, from Darius, or from Cyrus. Yeah, it was Darius right there. And then, and in the reign of Cyrus the Persian. So now chapter 7. In the first year of Balthasar, king of the Chaldeans, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. And he wrote his dream, right? I, Daniel, beheld, and lo, the four winds of heaven blew violently upon the great sea. And there came up four great beasts out of the sea, different from one another. The first was a lioness, and her wings as an eagle's. I beheld until her wings were plucked, and she was lifted off from the earth, and she stood on human feet, and a man's heart was given to her. Now see, here's another one. I'm going to highlight all of this because this is all prophetic to us, to where we're at and where the kingdoms and empires that we've been through. Daniel 7. The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. So this right here definitely does not read the same as what we just saw in the Septuagint. Because it said a lioness in the Septuagint, right? Right here. The first was a lioness, and her wings as an eagle's. I beheld until her wings were plucked, and she was lifted off from the earth, and she stood on human feet, and a man's heart was given to her. And behold, a second beast, like a bear, and it supported itself on one side, and there were 3 ribs in its mouth, between its teeth. And thus they said to it, Arise, devour much flesh. After this, when I looked, and behold, another wild beast as a leopard, and had 4 wings of a bird upon it. And the wild beast had 4 heads, and a power was given to it, and power was given to it. After this, when I looked, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and exceedingly strong, and its teeth were of iron, devouring and crushing the atoms, and it trampled the remainder with its feet, and it was altogether different from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. I noticed his horns, and behold, another little horn came up in the midst of them, and before it 3 of the former horns were rooted out. And behold, there were eyes as of the eyes of a man in this horn, and a mouth speaking great things. Now, we always got to make sure when we see something in the scriptures that's saying it's speaking great things, we already saw in the KJV where this is blasphemies. Well, right here it does say great things over here, speaking great things. Makes me want to pull up my my concordance right quick. Doing that right now. Okay, so huge in size or very great things. It doesn't really say, I guess just speaking, big things. Let's see. And I guess the Hebrew word will be rabarab. Yeah, just big things, just talking big. Yes, that's the easiest way to kind of put that. Yeah, it is the same. Yeah, Again, it says the same in the KJV. That's right, it does. It does. I went ahead and took a sneak peek over on Bible Hub, and yep, said the same things, speaking great things. So that's why I went on into the concordance right quick, and all it says is the word Rabba Rab, Raba, or the Ra Ba Ra and the Ba, but you don't go Rabba Rabba. You know what I'm saying? When you speak it, it's just Rabba Rab. So I beheld until the thrones were set, and the Ancient of Days sat, and his raiment was white as snow, and the hair of his head as pure wool. His throne was a flame of fire, and his wheels burning fire, and a stream of fire rushing forth before him. Thousands or thousands ministered to him, and 10,000s of myriads attended upon him. And the judgment sat, and the books were opened. I beheld, then because of the voice of the great words which that horn spoke, until the wild beast was slain and destroyed, and his body given to be burnt with fire. And the dominion of the rest of the wild beasts was taken away. But a prolonging of life was given them for certain times. So we have the Most High sitting upon his throne and watching this beast just talk big, right? This is the same as back in the day, I want to say, matter of fact, it was a Kumo D song back in the day called Talking Loud and Saying Nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that's all this beast is doing, is talking big. And it's not necessarily they're doing nothing, but it is of no good. Speaking big, but doing no good. And so the Most High is like, okay, I see you. You're talking all this big stuff, but now it says, I beheld, and because of the voice of the great words which that the horn spoke, until the wild beast was slain and destroyed, and his body given to be burnt with fire. So talking big all the way to the end. And the dominion of the rest of the wild beasts was taken away. So all the other kingdoms, their dominion was taken away. Their rulership, all gone. So all the other beasts that came before this fourth beast. So all four beasts, everything gone. Their whole dominion gone. Their rulership gone. But a prolonging of life was given them for certain times, which means the inhabitants of those kingdoms, they were still allowed to live for a certain amount of time. And I beheld in the night vision, and lo, one coming with the clouds of heaven, as the Son of Man. And he came on to the Ancient of Days, and was brought near to him. And to him was given the dominion, and the honor, and the kingdom, and all nations, tribes, and languages shall serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom shall not be destroyed. Now, what I'm about to say may upset some, but we just got done not too long ago going through and seeing how the Most High even called Ezekiel Son of Man. So when we see this part right here, I beheld in the night vision, and lo, one coming with the clouds of heaven as the Son of Man. Right? We have to be very careful with what we say, because we know that the Most High is not a man. We know that his word did become flesh, meaning that his word, the spirit, and all this dwelled in the flesh of a man, Yahushai, the will all being fulfilled. All these things being fulfilled. The obedience, all these things. We've had these things taught to us in such a way in the Eurocentric church that has been in such a mystified sense, just a mystical sense. And like I said, I know this is going to rub people the wrong way because they still are under the Eurocentric spell. And it is what it is. All right. Many teachings have been taught about the virgin birth and all that stuff. When we get to these scriptures like this, I beheld in the night vision, and lo, one coming with the clouds of heaven as the Son of Man. And he came on to the Ancient of Days and was brought near to him. And to him was given the dominion and the honor and the kingdom. And all nations, tribes, and languages shall serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom shall not be destroyed. This is the fulfillment of the Most High's word dwelling in us, or dwelling in the one that's going to lead. And so this is this, you can call this the second coming of Hamashiach, because that same, the spirit of the Most High is still going to be upon that person. And so it's still all kinds of mystified and all these things. I just think that it's best ultimately that the Most High continue to reveal these things. You know, it's like these are such touchy subjects once we get into them, to where if you're not under the Eurocentric spell that was brought to us from the very beginning before the awakening, then you're blasphemous, and you know, how dare you? You don't know what you're talking about. You busting hell wide open. All these things. If you ain't talking like a Roman, then you busting hell wide open. You know what I'm saying? So, and then we hear the same things. Well, everything we learned in Christianity wasn't wrong. I'm sorry, man. It's not that it was all wrong, but it wasn't taught in proper context. So we've been under a certain Eurocentric spell for so long, not having discernment and understanding of what it is that we're reading. And we were allowing our captors and oppressors to translate to us the word of the Most High that was never given to them to interpret to us, nor an understanding from the Most High to be interpreted to us. So the truth that we was receiving was very incomplete. And like I said, I know it bothers a lot of people. I can't be worried about that. I didn't write this word, but I sure enough can read it, and I sure enough understand it. Okay? People want to, you know, seclude that the Son of Man is only Hamashiach. It can only be Hamashiach. Well, if that's the case, then how come the Most High called Ezekiel Son of Man? And if that's the case, how come he called a couple others throughout the scriptures Son of Man? If the Son of Man can only be Hamashiach, that don't make no sense, right? So yeah, Shabbat Shalom, sis. Good to see you as always. So it's like we have to take our time with this word, and we have to make sure we take everything to the throne. So everything that I'm saying to y'all, take it to the throne. Absolutely. Absolutely. I could never say anything different. No matter what it is I'm saying, when I'm speaking or interpreting this word, take it to the Most High. Take it to Him. If I'm in error in any way, shape, or form, pray for me. Have the Most High correct me. And you already know if I'm incorrect about something, I will speak it publicly and be like, I was wrong about this. I will repent publicly. But I'm telling you, family, I see right here, facts is facts, the image of the Son of Man. So the Most High's kingdom shall be established in man. And this is what we don't seem to get. The fulfillment that the word becomes flesh, not just from the book of John, but that the Most High's will and his intention was that the Most High's word, just as Hamashiach prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane, he said that my prayer and my wish is for them to be one in me as I am one in you. So as the word that comes from the Father is one with the Father, that the word of the Father would be one inside of us. So as we saw in Jeremiah, it's all about who is preparing their hearts for the Most High. Who is actually trying to put that word inside of them, the obedience to keep the word of the Most High inside of you, that all of your behaviors are controlled and operated and governed by the word of the Most High. Because that's why the Most High told Masha, and it was spoken through Masha, that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High. These are very simple things. But we let people that have no understanding or little understanding tell us things that aren't complete without precepts. So let's keep it moving, because I done stayed here for far too long. Yes, I know I did, but I had to, because this is a very important part in prophecy. It's very important. So the fulfillment is that I beheld in the night vision, and lo, one coming with the clouds of heaven as the Son of Man. And he came on to the Ancient of Days and was brought near to him. And to him was given the dominion, the honor, and the kingdom, and all nations, tribes, and languages shall serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom shall not be destroyed. As for me, Daniel, my spirit and my body trembled, and the visions of my head troubled me. And I drew near to one of them that stood by, and I sought to learn of him the truth of all these things. And he told me the truth and made known to me the interpretation of the things. These four beasts are four kingdoms that shall rise up on the earth, which shall be taken away. And the saints of the Most High, what? And the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess it forever and ever. And it's right there. So when I speak on the fulfillment that the Most High's word shall be one inside of us, and that we will be obedient to the Most High, that Hamashiach shall dwell in us, it's right there. right there, highlighted, right there on your screen. And the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess it forever and ever. Then I inquired carefully concerning the four beasts, for it differed from every other beast, exceeding dreadful. Its teeth were of iron, and its claws of brass, devouring and utterly breaking to pieces. And it trampled the remainder with its feet. And concerning its 10 horns that were in its head, and the other that came up and rooted up some of the former, which had eyes and a mouth speaking great things. And his look was bolder than the rest. I beheld, and that horn made war with the saints, and prevailed against them until the Ancient of Days came. And he gave judgment to the saints of the Most High. And the time came on, and the saints possessed the kingdom. So there it is, spoken again. That beast made war against the saints and prevailed against them until the Ancient of Days came. And he gave judgment to the saints of the Most High. And the time came on, and the saints possessed the kingdom. So until we get understanding from the Most High, until we do as Hamashiach even told us in the book of Matthew, chapter 24, that the taking shall happen, the awakening happens in full-fledgedness, because we're still waking up. But when the awakening happens in full-fledgedness, a part of that is assuming an office. Let's bring it back up. Right? Matthew 24 and 40. Right here, the taking. Then will be two in the field. One is taken and one left. This para lambanatai, this para lambanyo, right here, to take, to receive, to take along, to accept. Right down here, to receive near, associate with oneself in any familiar or intimate act or relation, by analogy to assume an office, figuratively to learn. So when Hamashiach spoke about the taking happen, the sign, some of the sign of his coming, he spoke about an awakening happening, to assume an office, to associate with oneself. Because why? Because right here, which shall be taken away, and the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess it forever and ever, assuming their office. And as it's spoken right here, I beheld, and that horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them until the Ancient of Days came. And he gave judgment to the saints of the Most High. And the time came on, and the saints possessed the kingdom. So when Hamashiach spoke about the awakening, he was coming from this place as a precept. The sign of the coming of Hamashiach is the anointing of the people of the Most High, the children of the Most High, the saints of the Most High, that will assume their office and take back the kingdom. It's right there. And he said to the fourth beast, and he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom on the earth, which shall excel all other kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and trample and destroy it. And his 10 horns are 10 kings that shall arise, and after them shall arise another who shall exceed all the former ones in wickedness. And he shall subdue 3 kings. And he shall speak words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and shall think to change times and law, and power shall be given into his hand for a time, and times, and half a time. And the judgment has sat, and they shall remove his dominion to abolish it, and to destroy it utterly. And the kingdom and the power and the greatness of the kings that are under the whole heaven were given to the saints of the Most High. And his kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all powers shall serve and obey him. Talking about the Most High, not a man. It's going to go back to the same way that the Most High said it should have been way before we ever elected Saul as king. It's going to go back to how it should have been. That the Most High is our king. It's his laws, statutes, commandments, and judgments that govern us. That we're going to walk in uprightness properly, because we're going to keep his ways and put evil out of the land. All evil out of the land. So when I just interpreted for y'all and showed y'all that the fulfillment of the word of the coming of the Son of Man is the coming of the men of the Most High's kingdom, of his nation, shall be inhabited by the Ruach, the spirit of Hamashiach. So when I spoke to y'all and told y'all before, when you go in, when we were in the book of Judges, these different messiahs that were raised up and freed us from the captivities in which we were in. Go back to the book of Judges, read it for yourself. But when I spoke on these things and showed how the Most High raised up Messiah figures that freed us from our captivities and the foolishness of our people, of our ancestors, that even in the midst of being freed from that captivity, went back and did the same things that got us into captivity in the very face of the same one that freed them from the captivity. Like, you ungrateful Samama. So, but the true Messiah is the word of the Most High. It's the obedience, it's the full spirit. So when we talk about these things, we talk about the mindset. We talk about the mindset is given from the Most High that governs that body, governs that person. All of their speech, their behavior, their walk, their talk, their everything, their whole obedience to the Most High. And the Hamashiach that we see in the New Testament, Yahusha for some, Yahushai for others, the Ruach of the Most High, the Spirit of Messiah, the Christ Spirit was in that vessel, was in that man, and could achieve and accomplish so many great things because of the obedience to the Most High. And that Spirit was upon him. And even when we just got done going through in Isaiah or Yashayahu said that the Spirit of the Most High is upon me to do all these things. So how come nobody looked at Isaiah, or nobody goes back to those scriptures in Isaiah and look at him funny for saying the same thing that Hamashiach said? And Hamashiach in the New Testament quoted Isaiah so many times, it's ridiculous. But nobody looks at that stuff funny. But let a teacher in this modern day and age put these precepts together, y'all look at him funny for pointing it out. Man, yeah, some people silly, man. It's all good. It's all good. But the Most High is going to have his way, and his way is that his people on earth will be obedient unto him, going to glorify him and keep his ways and glorify him in all things and commit no more wickedness, put evil out of the earth, that the everlasting kingdom of the Most High right here, and the kingdom and the power and greatness of the kings that are under the greatness of the kings that are under the whole heaven were given to the saints of the Most High, and his kingdom, the Most High's kingdom, is an everlasting kingdom. And all powers, means all those in so-called authority, shall serve and obey the Most High. So they may be given some kind of authority, but they give all that they have to the Most High. It's him that they give glory to him. That it's the Most High that rules me to do these things. This goes back to show the precept that Hamashiach said that those of you who consider themselves great, serve. Show me. Serve. So those that are right here that are given this power, just as in the parable that Hamashiach spoke about with these servants that are given talents that multiply the talent of the Most High without fear by faith. And that king with the Most High says, faithful over a few, I shall make you ruler over many. This is the precept of that same thing. But they know that they're not the ultimate ruler. They give all praise to the Most High, and they tell the people, this the Most High that allows me to do what I do. And so it is him that deserves all the glory. For we know good and well that the Most High will not share his glory with no one. I was just speaking about this in the sanctuary today, and I know that me and the elder was talking and laughing a little bit, but it is a very serious thing. It's a one podium thing, and it's the Most High that sits on that podium by himself. By himself. It's not there. None of us is going to sit next to him like that. Verse 28. I just had to make sure I clear some of these things up, because if I don't speak on these things in extensiveness, it's very easy to clip, twist, flip, and trip over whatever I say and take and go whichever way you want with it. I ain't gonna have that. So anyway, verse 28. Hitherto is the end of the matter. This is the end of it. As for me, Daniel, my thoughts greatly troubled me, and my countenance was changed, but I kept this matter in my heart. Could you imagine knowing all this and have nobody to tell? This is why he kept the matter in his heart, because he had no one to tell these things that were going to come to pass. about all the different beasts. So the coming of Nebuchadnezzar, his fall, the coming of the Medes and Persians, their fall, the coming of the Grecians, their fall, the coming of the Romans and their fall, all the way to this day and time that we're living in right now. For it was Daniel that was given the understanding of these things in his time, and he had no one else that he could tell about these things, that he could break it down to. Could you imagine the pressure of having these things inside your scalp and not be able to break it all the way down to nobody? Man. Chapter 8, our last chapter. In the 3rd year of the reign of Balthazar, a vision appeared to me, even to me, Daniel, after that which appeared to me at the first. And I was in Susa, the palace, or Shushan palace, which is at the land of Elam. And I was on the bank of Ubal. And I lifted up mine eyes and saw, and behold, a ram standing in front of the Ubal. And he had high horns. One was higher than the other, and the high one came up last. And I saw the ram butting westward and northward and southward, and no beast could stand before him. And there was none that could deliver out of his hand. And he did according to his will and became great. And I was considering, and behold, a he-goat came from the southwest on the face of the whole earth, and touched not the earth. And the he-goat had a horn between his eyes. And he came to the ram that had the horns, which I had seen standing in the front of the Ubal. And he ran to him with the violence of his strength. And I saw him coming up close to the ram. And he was furiously enraged against him. And he smote the ram and broke both his horns. And there was no strength in the ram to stand before him. But he cast him on the ground and trampled on him. And there was none that could deliver the ram out of his hand. And the he-goat grew exceedingly great. And when he was strong, his great horn was broken. And 4 other horns rose up in its place toward the 4 winds of heaven. And out of one of them came forth one strong horn, and it grew very great toward the south and toward the host, and it magnified itself to the host of heaven. And there fell to the earth some of the hosts of heaven, of the stars, and they trampled on them. And this shall be until the chief captain shall have delivered the captivity. And by reason of him, the sacrifice was disturbed, and he prospered, and the holy place shall be made desolate. So, this is almost all right. This one I probably got to marinate on. And I think a lot of people over the course of, many centuries that have sat with this scripture I've had to ponder on it too. So this one right here about the ram and the he goat, you know what I mean? So I want to say that it's another interpretation of the final beast with against the saints, right? You know, because we saw how up here that the fourth beast, you know, wore out the saints, right? And he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom on the earth, which shall excel all other kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth and trample it and destroy it. And his 10 horns are 10 kings that shall arise after them, and shall arise another one who shall exceed all the former ones in wickedness, and he shall subdue 3 kings. It's actually up a little higher, right here. I beheld, and that horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them. And spoke on how that beast wore out the saints. So let's go ahead and keep reading, because we know that this is a lot older than the KJV. So we get some of the same things that the KJV has, but we also have some things that are a little bit different. So right here, verse 12. And a sin offering was given for the sacrifice, and righteousness was cast down to the ground. Oh, before we get too far, we have something that's also seen in Revelation right here. So this same beast, this same goat, you know what I'm saying, this he goat, you know, says, and it magnified itself to the hosts of heaven. This is the same as the dragon that's in Revelation, who swiped its tail, and a portion of the stars of heaven fell down to the earth right along with it. And there fell to the earth some of the hosts of heaven and the stars, and they trampled on them. And this shall be until the chief captain shall have delivered the captivity. So until Michael stands up. And for those of y'all that don't know, so I'll leave it. Michael being Shem, you know what I'm saying? Until he stands up, which will be the chief captain of our captivity, and by reason of him, the sacrifice was disturbed, and he prospered, and the holy place shall be made desolate, and a sin offering was given for the sacrifice, and righteousness was cast down to the ground. So when we see righteousness being cast down to the ground, this is also the precept to where we see in the New Testament about good being called evil and evil being called good. Things that are going to happen in the last days and times, where all this wickedness, the love of many shall wax cold, right? This is that same time. And I heard one saint speaking, and a saint said to a certain one speaking, how long shall the vision continue? Even the removal of the sacrifice and the bringing in of the sin offering of desolation. So this is the abomination of desolation. And how long shall the sanctuary and host be trampled? This is Jacob's trouble. And he said to him, evening and morning there shall be 2,000 and 400 days, and then the sanctuary shall be cleansed. So this trampling is still happening to this day. So there was, all right, thank you, Abba. Thank you, Abba. Oh my goodness. All right, so the interpretation thereof, talking about the ram and then the he-goat. Abba, yeah, the Dark Ages, family. What they call the Dark Ages. So in the Eurocentric teaching, the Eurocentric church, they say that during the Dark Ages, there was nothing inspired by the Most High. Nothing was written by him. Nothing was of any interest. that the Father slept. He was asleep. The Most High don't sleep, for one. But this is what they told you in the Eurocentric church. And during these dark ages that they don't want to ever talk about, this is when the Yehudi and the so-called Moors or Blackamoors ruled all of Europe and in every direction until we get to right around the Inquisition. It's right around that time of the Inquisition, which that he-goat would be the Catholic Church. And then the different denominations that have sprung up afterward. And the he-goat grew exceedingly great. And when he was strong, his great horn was broken, and 4 other horns rose up in its place toward the 4 winds of heaven. This is where you get your Baptist, Methodist, Presbyterian, and probably I'm trying to think here. I want to say Jehovah's Witness, but I don't want to step way too fast. But this is where you get these other horns of Eurocentric Catholicism doctrine, because all the Eurocentric churches come from the Roman Catholic Church, which they're all front for the devil anyway. All y'all know that. So, and then the desolation, the abomination of desolation is where, remember during the, even during the Maccabees, one of the things that the Grecians were doing, they was trying to force us to eat animal flesh, eat swine. And so this abomination of desolation, this sacrifice, and by reason of him the sacrifice was disturbed and he prospered, and the holy place shall be made desolate. So that means Jerusalem, true Jerusalem, made desolate. And a sin offering was given for the sacrifice, and righteousness was cast down to the ground. So the true Torah of the Most High cast to the ground. And it practiced and prospered. So this practice that prospered was the casting down of the Most High's actual Torah, his feast days, his Shabbats, all these things. Because remember, back up here, that 4th beast that Catholicism even came from sought to change times and laws. So when you get here and you see this, and I heard one saint speaking, and a saint said to a certain one speaking, how long shall the vision continue? Even the removal of the sacrifice and the bringing in of the sin offering of desolation, or the sin of desolation. And how long shall the sanctuary and host be trampled? So how long shall the saints of the Most High be brought down low, trampled on, and then this so-called sacrifice, this sin offering, be brought into the saints? This swine's flesh and other things that I'm not even going to dip into right now. So, and he said to him, evening and morning there shall be 2,400 days, and then the sanctuary shall be cleansed. So this is that time, and half a time. And it came to pass, as even I, Daniel, saw the vision and sought to understand it. See, this is another thing. Daniel's the one that got the vision. And he was still trying to make sense of it. And the Most High gave him understanding over all these different visions and interpretations. So he was even sitting here trying to understand it, let alone those of us in this day and age that see it and are trying to make sense out of it, even looking at the past, looking at things that have already transpired. Because even you already know that I don't know all of the history. But there are a lot of other historians out there that, some of our other historians that if we were to sit down and match history with the scripts, that would be able to be like, I know good and well Pastor Wilkins have a field day with this. I might have to hit him up and be like, yo, Prophet Wilkins, hey, come let's go break down this Daniel right quick. Let's go live and break this down. He would have a field day with this. And it came to pass, as even I, Daniel, saw the vision and sought to understand it, that behold, there stood before me as the appearance of a man. And I heard the voice of a man between the banks of the Ubal. And he called and said, Gabriel, cause that man, or Gabriel, cause that man to understand the vision. And he came and stood near where I stood. And when he came, I was struck with awe and fell upon my face. But he said to me, understand, Son of Man. See, even Daniel is now being called Son of Man. Right there. Understand, Son of Man. So you see it through the prophets to where it's not just Hamashiach being called Son of Man. But he said to me, understand, Son of Man, for yet the vision is for an appointed time. And while he spoke with me, I fell upon my face to the earth, and he touched me and set me on my feet. And he said, behold, I make thee know the things that shall come to pass at the end of the wrath. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. So remember how we just got done coming up out of Yashayahu, and the Most High says, I will not be angry with you forever. Remember that? We just went over this like maybe a week or two ago. He said, I will not be angry with you for always or forever. And this right here, and I gotta highlight all this definitely. Let's just definitely do that. All right. So this is the spirit of Hamashiach. This is the same spirit that dwelled in Yahushai, or those that y'all say Yahusha or Yeshua. This is the appearance of that word that became flesh. Right here. This is the spirit that dwelled inside that man. And I heard the voice of a man between the banks of the Ubal, and he called and said, Gabriel, cause that man to understand the vision. What voice of a man commands an angel and tells him, cause that man to understand? But he said to me, understand, son of man, for yet the vision is for an appointed time. And while he spoke with me, I fell upon my face to the earth, and he touched me and set me on my feet. And he said, behold, I make thee know the things that shall come to pass at the end of the wrath, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. So once again, let's simplify this. The word of the Most High, that the Most High sends out, the same word that woke us up and brought us out of darkness, is the same word that the Most High said will go forth and accomplish all the things in which he set out for it to do. And it shall not return to him void. And that same word, that same spirit that is known as Hamashiach, is the same one that told the Pharisees and those that said, you are so good. And he said, why do you call me good? For there is only one that is good, and that is my Father who sits on the throne. Because if they knew all the things that the word would have to be set forth out to do, they probably wouldn't say it was good unless they truly understood the why. The why. Why this word has to go out and accomplish these things in this manner. Unless you understand, you probably wouldn't think that the word was good. I know he's good because he's got to do what the Most High told him to do for the Most High's will and purpose. Because if we wouldn't have acted a daggone fool, we wouldn't have to go through these things to begin with. The Most High is not a man that he should lie, nor is he the son of man that he should repent. He warned us and told us not to do the things that we did. Therefore, we had to suffer the consequences of not doing what he told us to do. So when the word goes forth and has to accomplish the whooping, don't blame the Father and don't blame the word for accomplishing all that the Father said it was going to do to you. Seeing? So, verse 20, the ram which thou sawest that had the horns is the king of the Medes and Persians. Okay. The he-goat is the king of the Greeks, and the great horn which was between his eyes, he is the first king. And as for the one that was broken, in whose place there stood up 4 horns, 4 kings shall arise out of his nation, but not in their own strength. And at the latter time of their kingdom, when their sins are coming to the full, there shall arise a king bold in countenance and understanding riddles. This is why I like being corrected. I thank you, Abba. Praise you, Abba. And his power shall be great, and he shall destroy wonderfully and prosper in practice, and shall destroy mighty men and the holy people. And the yoke of his hand, and the yoke of his chain, shall prosper. There is craft in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by craft shall destroy many, and he shall stand up for the destruction of many, and shall crush them as eggs in his hand. And the vision of the evening and morning that was mentioned is true. And do thou seal the vision, for it is for many days. Praise you, Abba. Praise you, Abba. I love your correction, Abba. Thank you. Thank you. And I, Daniel, fell asleep and was sick. Then I arose and did the king's business. And I wondered at the vision, and there was none that understood it. All right, family. We're going to put a pin in that right there. Oh, my God. So we're starting up chapter 9 next week, Most High willing. Hmm. So while that is doing that, oh my God, I gotta like swap some songs around because or add some songs in because let's see here. This one, it absolutely fits. And then, like I said before, the Rock Out Bar, we gotta put you up in here. Absolutely. We're gonna play these songs lightweight first, but let's go ahead and pray. I got some song. I got a song from. I got a bunch of songs that I never got a chance to download from Brit Yah. So we got one coming for you, coming from her tonight. We got a new song from Anaviel and Shaduar. We got another one from Shaduar and Kwadam Rakar. We got some. Yes, we got. Matter of fact, we're gonna. Man, yeah. Goodness, I might. I'll bring this other one. I'll bring this other one next week, most I willing. So yeah, I got another one from Yashana Sa, featuring Azir. We got Marquand. We got um, Prince Yatazakwa. Um, we got we got some of the peculiar people. Karatasa, Anab Yapa X, or not Yapa X, sorry, Anab Yapa, and then Yaquab Nagan. And we also got that song has them three brothers on there. And we also got the Rock Out Bar. We got a good amount of songs for y'all to check out tonight. They go definitely hand in hand with the scriptures that we just got done coming up out of. And then we have just some others just definitely get your Bantu breakdance on and definitely give your praise to the Most High. So if you can and you will, please bow your heads with us. We're going to pray our way out and get into our praise portion of our Bible study. And let's go ahead and get it out, family. Abu Yahuwah, Most High of Yasharal, Most High of Abaraham, of Yatsak and Yaquab, the one true allure of all creation, creator of all the heavens, the earth, and everything within. Yahuwah, Saba. First and foremost, Abba, thank you for your correction. When I started giving an interpretation and whatnot, I should have just had my mouth shut. Thank you, Abba. Thank you, Abba. When your interpretation is sure, that's one thing. But I really felt as though I knew what I was getting on. And I'm so glad that your word came right around and was like, bro, just read. Thank you, Yahushua. Thank you for setting me down and just say, hey, little bro, just read. Thank you, Abba. So first and foremost, Abba, thank you so much for correcting me live and causing me to repent. I repent, Abba. Thank you. Thank you for your word that has gone forth to give us understanding. Thank you for your word, Abba, that has came forth to allow us to go to the highways and the byways, to give us a testimony to speak to others. So like you have now given us to understand that you have made us responsible for a word that we have heard, and now we understand. And that when if we don't fully understand it, we can go back, watch this, or go back to the scriptures, read them for ourselves. But we take that word to others and we find a way to tell them so they can tell somebody else. We thank you so much for everything you give us to understand. For as once again, your word tells us in all of our getting understanding. Abu Yahuwah, thank you for everything that you give for us as an assignment. Thank you for your mercy, your grace upon us. We pray that those that are traveling right now or getting back to their homes will have traveling mercies. Abu Yahuwah, we thank you for allowing us to fellowship and all these things. We continually pray in your mighty, righteous, and holy name, the name of Yahuwah, Saba, by way of your son, Yahushua HaMashikah, known as the Bar, Yeshaya, Yahuwah, the word of salvation from Yahuwah. So be it, and it is so. All right, family. So the first song, first song, as a matter of fact, yeah, we're gonna play this Danaya'al Bar, the Ancient, and then King Lemuel, Prophecy, and we're just gonna let the Most High. You're gonna let Abba go ahead and control the rest of the songs from there. All right. So I pray y'all get your Bantu breakdance on. I pray that y'all send the word out. Hey, tell them we live right now. Tell them about the praise and worship. And there's some new music coming up on here that they really need to get hip to. Something to put in their car. Absolutely. So be it. So be it. Get ready to get your Bantu breakdance on, family. But let's also make sure we humbly get our praise on. All right. What's the word without praise? We need to praise the Most High. So here's the first song from Danaya'al Bar, the Ancient.
In times, what? Break the last seal, open up the scroll. Break the last seal, open up the scroll. Here's a mystery. If you get this message, you chose. This for every soul watching. If Abba be with us, then who gon' stop it? Inspired by the testimonies of them old prophets. Looking at my ark like these could be our forefathers. Is it far-fetched? What if we are direct descendants? Remember that covenant we made? Who gon' represent it? Last seal, they found the scroll with a message in it. Who can interpret this writing on the wall? Medes and Persians, that city's about to fall. Her statue's no longer standing, her glory is turned to ashes. The merchants of the sea look at her shores and cry, saying Babylon was our strength, how we gon' survive? It was cool until you bragged about the vessels you took from the holy city. Your judgment is right on schedule. They found a letter from the ancient. They found a letter from the ancient. I hate to interrupt your banquet. I have in my hand a message from the ancient. The seal breaks, the language nobody understood. Except this one, he could read it, but no others could. His countenance fell, this can't be nothing good. Everyone in attendance started trembling. It reads, the jewels you possess are special to me. I chastised them for a season, but you kept them from me. Yeah, you kept them dirty and you hid them in the darkest spots. They never lost value, these vessels cost a lot. In your pride, you made sure that they were downtrodden, created a system of labor for them without profit. I break the iron yoke, the burden is lifted. Their curses to mercy, their punishments ended. It's for your banquet and everyone in attendance. Here's a dark saying, who can uncover this sentence? The garment that tore into 12 pieces, I'm stitching it back up. This time I'm gonna keep it. Here's another saying, it's no longer a secret. The Medes and the Persians infiltrated all of your breaches, waiting for the time to attack, dwelling in secret. Prophets try to warn you, you silence them when they speak it. The judgment is set, this story's familiar. Babylon is falling, the chosen is building. Sincerely, they found a letter from the ancient. They found a letter from the ancient.
Prophecy. Golden head upon the statue. silver arms and chest, bronze belly and thighs, iron upon the legs. Feet made of iron and clay, spread amongst the 10 toes. If you know, you know how the chronological prophecy goes. Time of the Gentiles soon over it shows. 7 years of tribulation, more than close. Grace soon to be done, come quick, grab your dose. Mountain, the stone becomes the great mountain. Washed in Yahuwah's fountain. Yahuwah's reign is pending, pending, pending. First beast was like a lion with eagle's wings. Second was like a bear. Third beast like a leopard with 4 wings and 4 heads. Fourth, an incomparable beast with 10 horns, and it had great iron as teeth. A terror of time dawns like never before. Climb on board, Yahuwah shut that door, and there came among them another horn. Stand down, O ancient of days, come round. They all shall be cast down. Can you hear the trumpet sound? His garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like pure wool. Our debts paid in full, thrown like a fiery flame. O Lion of Judah, shake your man. Mountain, the stone becomes the great mountain. Wash in Yahuwah's fountain. Yahuwah's reign is pending, pending, pending. There stood before the river a ram with 2 horns, one high, one higher. The higher came up last, and there came a he-goat and smote the ram with 2 horns. But you come with wheels of burning fire. Golden head upon the statue, silver arms and chest, bronze belly and thighs, iron upon the leg. Mountain, the stone becomes the great mountain. Washed in Yahuwah's fountain. Yahuwah's reign is pending, pending, pending.
Again.
I got angels on my side. Yeah, the angels of the presence with me praising the most high. Turn my whip into a UFO. It's angels in my ride. Bury me right with the saints. The angels singing when I die. I am not who you should war against. It's angels on my side. Yeah, the angels rose again. Look at Yasha Allah standing bold again, huh? This that baptism energy. Tell me what your doctrine like. He came not to do his own will. How the Father Christ. I got angels with me, they protect me. I ain't gotta fight. But don't think I'm weak, cause I ain't say I ain't know how to fight. Me and you are not alike. I like what my father like. I don't deal with pride. I am not a sodomite. America will fry like Gomorrah, cause inside I'm like whole lot of light shining on them, and I'm shining bright. Plus I got the angels on my side. Yeah, the angels of the presence with me praising the Most High. Turn my whip into a UFO. It's angels in my ride. Bury me right with the saints. The angels singing when I die. I am not who you should war against. It's angels on my side. Yeah, the angels of the presence with me praising the Most High. Let's turn my whip into a UFO. It's angels in my ride. Bury me right with the saints. The angels singing when I die. I am not who you should war against. The Holy Spirit lead me. I don't deal with wishing. Listen, I am not a genie. Why do you keep asking if I'm Muslim? Do you see a beanie? What you see is meat trees on the elders' heads when they are teaching. Told my friend Ephraim, you are not a Rican. No, he thinking, what Bible you reading? This ain't what the Christian preachers preaching. Awake from your sleeping, we will tear their doctrine into pieces. They got it from heathens. Stop cuffing lies like a cop. You are not a policeman. The word it cut so much a bandage can't stop me from bleeding. So glad I heard you call my name. You can't stop me from cheesing. Used to walk with demons, now I walk with Christ. Mall cop, I don't need a gun. Now I walk with light, brawling like it's UFC. I swear that this my hardest fight. Enduring until the end. When we win, we gon' walk in white, singing like the angels of the morning. Yeah, we on it. The angels of the presence with us, watching. That's a warning. Repent, and I got the angels on my side. Yeah, the angels of the presence with me praising the Most High. Turn my whip into a UFO. It's angels in my ride. Bury me right with the saints. The angels singing when I die. I am not who you should war against.
Hey QD, you know we gotta kill that flesh every day, right? Day-to-day basis. Can't be playing with Satan. You know how this go. Gotta get the Most High's praise. Let's go. Sitting back trying to think of a better way to reach the youth. And truth is getting scary. The mother's so high, it's killing the spirit of Christ. They smoking on Bloody Mary. They worship the green, whether it be weed or money. And turn them to Jim Carrey. We get dumber and dumber. We stuck in the Truman Show. Got us living like Tyler Perry. It's a hot girl summer, but we need to quiet down. Now they twerking in libraries. Yelling, yeah, global no fathers and psychers. They get married to the cemeteries. Death is taking over. How they put us to sleep. Slowing feet, we have been in need. Spirit dry, we ain't trying to see, but trying to bold like we in the Jeep. But Henny and Duce gave us spirits, but we never listen. Steady fighting, looking like slaves on a display. For the masses to wear like a toupee. No cap, bots of demons, but they take the jab. They in amazement like we in the lab. And wasting time like I'm in a cab. I raised the bar and added to my tab. I put on Christ like I'm in the fashion. Eat the roll and stay, ain't dashing. Highway to heaven, ain't crashing. Taking my name back, got a patent. Fire raining down like a dragon. No egging them on, we is shacking and cracking. He gon' lead the saints, he the captain. Babylon soon to fall like Manhattan. Yeah, Abba, we gon' do the work. We cannot be slothful. Yeah, Abba, don't care if they hate. We gon' still love on them. Yeah, Abba, they say that I changed, but it ain't a shocker. Yeah, Abba, we gon' keep your law so all our ways can prosper. Yeah, Abba, want my garment white like I'm in the washer. Yeah, Abba, iron sharp as iron, I want my iron sharper. Yeah, Abba, staying in that word, trying to be a scholar. Yeah, Abba, your son kicked him out like he played
Them haters ain't permeating, I'm permeably selective. Silver and gold like Magneto, gather, elect to elected. Found out the father's our God, forgive me if I'm possessive. We you with no ish connected, my flow that is just like septic. We think your right is left and we read right to left, no dyslexic. Perfection's a weapon, he say be perfect, so now we weapons. Equivalent to electricians, bring light to the disconnected. Pray for we eat for this beat, moment of silence. Blessed, we radiate like the radiator fan, broken that fan us. We not monkeys, we got kids, but the child support is bananas. Y'all men ain't effeminate, they manly men and they got manners. Arm and hammer, whips for whips and chips, but flip that propaganda. Now the arm is our messiah, the hammer's judgment, and our temples lit. May notice bro and sis in the stove looking up ingredients. Not tired, but we fly with this word, just like the Goodyear flip. I got about to rain, you know plumber, but yeah, you see the drip.
Yeah, Abba, we gon' do the work, we cannot be slothful. Yeah, Abba, don't care if they hate, we gon' still love on them. Yeah, Abba, they say that I changed, but it ain't a shocker. Yeah, Abba, we gon' keep your law so all our ways can prosper. Yeah, Abba, want my garment white like I'm in the washer. Yeah, Abba, iron sharp
no one knows.
I used to be young and so reckless, but now I'm forgiving whoever. Bleeding the loss from my heart like I'm writing a letter. His spirit done told me do better. Garment was white, now the spots on my back like a leopard, but never could fold under pressure. Through the fire, he mowed gold like a sweater. He stitching his people together. We battle whenever, whoever. Feeling offended, we Matthew 18 and seek out our brother like we found a treasure. Never let sunsets when it beam in your eye. If it's cloudy, we changing the weather. Brainstorm how to bring it together. Kill the pride like it came on a stretcher. Never lie when you feeling offended. We circumcise all our thoughts by confession and expressing our love for each other, so we cutting out the aggression. Humble ourselves, we don't start the correcting. It's hard to look when you can't see your reflection. Gotta seek to use some discretion. Everybody shouldn't be in your section. VIP, only you and the person can truly see how to remove the leaven through offenses. We losing, they winning. If I go to my brother, that caused the offense. The Satan can't cook in his kitchen. Nah, Navio never text back and I get it. And Navio always busy on the mission. And Navio finally got me on his album. Got a fist is turning into forgiveness, yeah.
Who is like you?
Offenses.
No one knows.
They be making us senseless.
Who is like you?
Forgiveness.
No one knows.
That's their only religion.
Who is like you?
Offenses.
No one knows.
They be making us senseless.
Who is like you?
Forgiveness.
No one knows.
That's their only religion.
Who is like you?
Offenses.
No one knows.
They be making us senseless.
Who is like you?
Forgiveness.
No one knows.
That's their only religion.
Who is like you?
Offenses.
No one knows.
They be making us senseless.
Who is like you?
Forgiveness.
No one knows.
As I say this, I'm facing the east. Yeah, I'm patient, no taking my peace. You offended, let's speak on it, please. Cause the Bible told us all to be. None of us perfect, that's just how it be. Escape the judgment like taking a plea. We are connected like technology, and soon we all gon' see, that's my philosophy. First we forgive, then we keep all the feasts. First live the Bible, then teach on the streets. First pray for knowledge, then set up to preach. First seek the Father, then speak on these beats. Matthew 18, I tell him to read. Christ telling me how to handle the beef. We gotta move like the descendant of King. It's in my jeans like denim it seems. Israel a nation, so we are a team. Children of light, got that glow, got that sheen. Whipping the foreign, I'm driving machines. God gave me aura, that's fact like machine. We building a team, asking my brothers, no enemies, please. Competition don't mean nothing to me. Unified is what this nation should be. Me and Tay brothers, I keep the receipts. Me and Hezekiah floating on beats. Courtney Bell and me, we keeping it G. The rock I bar still inspiring me. Danaya'al got the heart of a king. Danaya'al always down this dream. Danaya'al barely say what you mean, but I forgive you cause you part of this team. You dig?
Who is like you? No one knows. 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 Who is like you? No one knows.
Look, the heart is desperately wicked. Tell me who can know it. While on the quest for redemption, I'm trying not to blow it. And try my best to forgive a person that might offend me. While dodging murmurings, backbiting, strivings, and envy. I'm sending prayers to the heavens, hope I don't ask amiss. The master cast me back to life, I'm on my Lazarus. Put on that unspotted garment, it's not a fashion tip. And let Yeshaya take the wheel so I don't crash the whip. The kingdom gates of the bosom of aid. Only two choices, life or a fiery grave. Ha, just wait on he who is mighty to save. Walk in boldness of truth, be never afraid. Become as a youth and apt to obey. What advantage have the Jew? Much every way. We dwell in the booth like back in the days. Lucifer was loose for a time until he back in his cage. 1,000 years the master will reign, I pray.
I pray we make it through them kingdom gates. Pray for patience while we running this race. I'm praying for grace for all of my mistakes. Wanna see the peaceful side of a higher space. I pray we make it through them kingdom doors. Pray we see them tessellated floors. You get one time and the chance is yours. Trying to get my crown, fam, you can get yours.
Body, mind, and soul, 3 heads like the Hydra. I'm trying to bind the hole in the system that's an engine with modified controls. The daughter of Babylon will sodomize your soul and turn your gold to coal. Every day we waking up it's fight or flight. Firefighting on buildings that set at the highest height. Self-control of pleasure and pain. Finding balance and not carrying cane. Spirited vessel that we wrestle and duck in the rain. To you was smart and now you mocked. I thought we was twain. You couldn't marry when you married. Do mention his name. This song won't even register cause they bucking their chains. Look at the knees and my jeans, they tattered and frayed. Look at the spirits in the distance, they scattered and frayed. The woes, the black robs, the whips and the chains. The shade Drax and Meshach cover wings in the flames. If you believed in the report, you be thinking the same.
I pray we make it through the kingdom gates. Pray for patience while we running this race. I'm praying for grace for all of my mistakes. Wanna see the peaceful side of a higher space. I pray we make it through them kingdom doors. Pray we see them tessellated floors. You get one time and the chance is yours. Trying to get my crown, fam, you can get yours. I pray we make it through them kingdom gates. Pray for patience while we running this race. I'm praying for grace for all of my mistakes. Wanna see the peaceful side of a higher space. I pray we make it through them kingdom doors. Pray we see them tessellated floors. You get one time and the chance is yours. Trying to get my crown, fam, you can get yours. Trying to get my crown. I pray for the nation. I'm praying for patience in this revelation.
I just got hit by your stripes, not by stripes. Walking by faith, not by sight, but by your voice, by your voice. You stay close. Greater is He within me. You stay close. Your love is a guarantee, and I boast. Only in you, 'cause you set me free, and I'm yours. You stay close. I don't want distance, I don't wanna be far from you. You wish my master, because of you I feel renewed. There's a new chapter, sanctify me by fire. It's you I'm running after, 'cause my life belongs to you. I just got healed by your stripes, healed by your stripes, not by strength, not by strength, not by walking by faith, not by sight, walking by faith, not by sight, but by your voice, by your voice. You stay close. Greater is He within me. You stay close. Your love is a guarantee, and I boast. Only in you, 'cause you set me free, and I'm yours. And I'm yours. 'Cause you stay close. Only one king, only one king, only one bread I eat. Only one king, only one king, only one wine I drink. That is His body, that is His blood. Unto the word I cling. Renew covenant, only one king. Keeping my mind in sync. I just got healed by your stripes, healed by your stripes, not by strength, not by strength, not by might. Walking by faith, not by sight, walking by faith, not by sight, but by your voice, by your voice. You stay close. Greater is He within me. You stay close. Your love is a guarantee, and I boast. Only in you, 'cause you set me free, and I'm yours. And I'm yours.
You shine us up.
Scotty C got this one.
The burden of Babylon is coming soon. I'ma lift my voice and I'ma warn you. You gon' hear the noise of the multitude. They coming from afar to destroy you. The day of the Lord is at hand. Destruction is coming, it's the Father's plan. I pray you listen and you understand. Melting hearts inside every man. All they sorrows will take a hold of them. Their pain will be as a woman delivering. The Lord is coming to lay the land desolate, and he will destroy all the sinners that sin it. Ain't no stars giving light or the moon, the sun won't shine. The world is punished for their crimes and their evil and their lies. And the proud they will seize, he ain't worried about your pride. And the haughty and the fearful, they won't make it through the night. Bye-bye, Babylon, bye-bye. Bye-bye, Babylon, bye-bye. Bye-bye, Babylon, bye-bye. Bye-bye, Babylon, bye-bye, Babylon.
And there will be verses go. The Lord's wrath he can't control. And every man will flee to their own land. If they stay deaf at the Lord's hand, the children will be dashed to pieces. Split into just like some Reese's. Most High will bring the meat. And they won't have no PT. No, 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 no. They will burn like Sodom. Wild beef and houseless top to bottom. Babylon, your time has come. No way you can run.
Bye-bye, Babylon, bye-bye. Bye-bye, Babylon, bye-bye. Bye-bye, Babylon, bye-bye. Bye-bye, Babylon, bye-bye, Babylon. Bye-bye, Babylon, bye-bye. Bye-bye, Babylon, bye-bye. Bye-bye, Babylon, bye-bye. Bye-bye, Babylon, bye-bye, Babylon.
And there will be verses go.
Yeah. Look. Don't play with me. You got so way before you even pray for me. Treated my suspension like you made me leave, but I'll be back before you thinking you gon' wait for me. Yeah. Remember, man, my ox was in Kilimanjaro's faithfully. Preaching while we eating, making Satan leave. That half a year I won't be there, hope they not hating me. But this experience, it got me reading scriptures, watching lessons more. It got me watching Satan while he at my door. Now, having to read his moves, it got me stressing more. It turned me to a semi-automatic ball, aiming at the evil's head while looking at my soul. Like it's a war outside, what you relaxing for? Playing these fighting games, but this ain't Tekken 4. What this God gifted talent loses value, cause somebody don't gain the suspension. Even if I drop the album with anyone listen, I like to share though it's not in your business. I'm far from wicked, but I'm sorry I wrote your suspicion. Want the details, act the elders, okay, mind your business. We search for optimism, but always find the credit. Evil said come this way, and yet I follow wisdom. Just know I made a confession and face the consequences. I face my demons, so I close my eyes at night. Father, stop public statements about my private life. You without sin, catch your stones, or you the modest type. You wouldn't throw a stone if your mom was right. People in glass houses sling more stones than they sling half ounce. Paying more niggas than clan partners. My comeback plan proper, recording the first one right in the second under Christ. Like Simon, they yelling Alvin. I can't even focus on the work while I'm fighting lust. God is the epitome of peace while I'm fighting love. All these spiritual gangsters in the street, yet I'm watching us. Screaming thug life till I die, Tupac-a-lux. Me, myself, and I, but the highest is watching us. Seeking his correction, let these scriptures are modest us. You won't catch me amongst the world caught by the flood. Days I still wish I was a virgin, I'm kinda but I hate that you didn't check for me. Instead of praying for me, you marked me off and neglected me. Saw that I was naked, exposed my shame, no protecting me. Even in confession, my bishop said he respected me. Handful of officers showing love, still accepted me. Asking no exceptions, if those results are exceptional. Even when I'm off, I get right back on eventually. You don't know you gotta be faster than me to get to me. No one's done it successfully. Ain't put no videos up with urges, forgot that y'all even heard of me. Hard to be consistent when going through something personally, especially when I know it's some people that want the worst for me. Cause they twist my arm, I write it like someone's hurting me. Soul look for sale and Satan here try and purchase me. Say you got some talent, you better off if you work for me. Hell no, I got little cousins that gotta learn from me. Use the right bait that'll open the can of worm for me. Sin scarlet red, my aura feel kinda burgundy. GOCC feel like it's the only church to me. Think I'm ready to be everything that I was supposed to be. It's working out almost purposely. I don't know what y'all want from me. All y'all tears is all punks to me. Hide behind good intentions, but try and crumple me. Stay here trying to comfort me. Cut your laws and just run for me. Float like a butterfly, leave a stain like a bumblebee. Royalty start dumping me. Right then I was just done with me. Had to regroup, rebuild, water my mustard seed. Spare soul pole, feel dipsy with no more guarantees. Addicted, no lala, but Teletubbies with custard cream. Watching the academy, notice he drinking ginger tea. Every detail I jotted down oh so carefully. Feel like I'm prepared to be everything I was scared to be. His power is more aware of me. Yeah, but I'll be back past over 20. Give you the summary. Until then, more life.
To those that I hurt, I ask for forgiveness. To those that I helped, I pray I did more. To those I didn't help, I pray you understand. But to those that helped me, thank you so much.
Oh my God. Woo, family. I definitely pray that these songs bless y'all. But above all, you already know, I pray that the word has blessed y'all even more. Most High willing, be right back here next week to go over the next set of scriptures. And we definitely been missing you, man. You know what I'm saying? For real. I pray everything has been all right for you down there. Yes, brother. Well, I'm back. All praise to the Most High Yah. For real. I pray so. But yeah, goodness, it was something I was gonna say. Just definitely keep us in your prayers. I say that. And there's definitely some more teachings that I'm trying to work on. Some things to put these precepts together. Some subjects have been coming to my mind, and I have reluctantly been occupying myself in other ways. So shame on me. I'll just say it flat out. Shame on me. So let me go ahead and get to those things. Definitely, like I said, pray for your eye. And Most High willing, we'll see you again real soon. Yes. Any questions, you can call, you can email out RedLetterRap at redletterrap@gmail.com or email Coach Yazaret at Yazaret Tally. Actually, it'd be Yazaret Tally at yahoo.com. It wouldn't have an H in there. Right. It's all right. I'm doing it. Yeah, right there. But definitely, yeah, hit us up. Questions. We can try to set up either a phone conversation or email, depending on just email back and forth. And it's all good. It's all good. It's all right, sis. But email back and forth at first, and if it really seems fruitful or very very much seems like we can, sit down like this, we can sit down like this and talk privately. You know what I'm saying? I got a private sowing and growing or building and growing session that I don't record or it won't get, publicized or nothing like that. If the Most High wills it, then we'll link up like this right here in a private session and share information or just sit down and pray with one another. You know what I'm saying? I'm very approachable. You know, I'm not above anybody. You know what I mean? I just love the Most High. I love His Word. I love correction. So if it's correction that I need, hey, by all means, let's work it out. Or if it's something that I can help with, by all means, let's work it out. With that being said, I love y'all, family, more than you ever know. And I pray, yes, if you haven't already, then please hit that like button on your way out, family. It only takes a second. It costs nothing. If the Most High has placed it upon your heart to sow into the ministry, you can do so at RedLetter Wrapped or hashtag RedLetter Wrapped. For Cash App or whatever. But if not, hey, so be it. It's all good. I have a job. You know what I mean? I gotta find that old video. You know what I'm saying, where the young brother over in Africa says, he said, Jesus was a carpenter. I said Paul was a tent maker. He said somebody else. He said if your pastor doesn't have a job and jumps back in the camera, he said he is a thief. I got a job. You know what I mean? So if you sowing into the ministry between you and the Most High, it ain't got nothing to do with me. I love y'all either way. It's all good. All praise to the Most High God. That's right. Love you too, bro. Definitely. So, you got anything before we go back? All right, I think they can hear you. And I said, I think they can hear you. Oh, yeah. All right, I was just looking. All right, family. And Most High willing, we'll see you again real soon. And we out.